Whoa. This is MacBook Neo.
Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Watch with Nordic live commentary stream here today. And I'm excited for this one. I know I say this almost every single stream, but I am really excited for this one. This is going to be a fun one here. It is the matchup between the Buffalo Sabres and the Washington Capitals tonight. The Sabres are looking to get their ninth straight win here tonight and their 88th point of the season. Their current record, 19-6 for 86 points. They are 8-1-1 in their last 10. And as I've said, they've won 8 games in a row. They've been absolutely phenomenal. The Capitals find themselves below the playoff line with 71 points, 32-27-7. They are 5-5 in their last 10. It has certainly been a struggle for the Washington Capitals, but they're trying to hold on with the last sliver of hope they have and get into the playoffs. What's up, Bob? What's up, Brittany? How we doing? Quincy's in here. Crazy to me. It's March, and the Sabres could be tied for first in the conference tonight. Damn right. That's exactly what's going down here. It's crazy times here in Buffalo. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. It's good to see everybody here in the chat. We got game time coming up here in just a moment. My screen just went black. And now it's in commercial break. We're almost ready to go. I'm actually a little bit behind. They were doing the anthems as soon as I was getting ready to start. And there we go. We're done. We're ready to get started here. All right, starting goaltenders here on both sides. On one end, you have Charlie Lindgren, who is in net for the Washington Capitals. 8-7-3 record this season. 881 save percentage. On the other side, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, 15-7-2. A 2.74 and a .905. Let's go, bro. Yes, sir. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the wonderful commentary. And look who's here. Olympic medalist from the women's team. I think that's Harvey. And slamming the drum there as we get ready to get this one started here tonight. Will the Sabres pick up their 9th straight win? It's been some electric hockey here in Buffalo as of late. And I saw this game coming up, and I crossed off the original one I'm doing. I'm like, I got to stream these Sabres. Here we go. Sabres and Capitals, and we are underway. Face-off is won then by the Sabres. Samuelsson will hold it down low in the Buffalo zone. It's chipped back down low to the Washington end. Matt Roy now down low in the Capitals' defensive zone. Banks off the boards for Brandon Duhaime, who tries to get it out of the Washington end. It does sliver out to center, but Dahlin holds that puck and gives it back over then for Ryan McLeod. Down low then, Samuelsson back to Quinn. Through the legs, McLeod. Turnover forced there. Here's Duhaime now through the zone. Comes in, shoots it. Block rebounds there. Denied. It didn't even get on. Another point shot here goes up in the air and back down low to the corner. Now Dahlin over then for McLeod. Ryan McLeod will take this one now below the line. Interesting about tonight, there is a new defensive pairing here in Buffalo. Luke Shen and Logan Stanley are each on a line here. Here's Dahlin, gives it back up then for Tage Thompson. Thompson down the right side, shoots it, denied by Lindgren. And Lindgren will make the save a little bit under a minute into the game. Sabres coming off of a win on Tuesday against the San Jose Sharks. This team has been playing absolutely incredible, and seeing the arena as electric as it's been, it makes you feel like we've gone back to the days where Buffalo was consistently making the playoffs. I just hope for the sake of Sabres fans they can keep this up. Face-off coming up now in the Washington zone. It's Dubois versus Thompson. Trevor Van Riemsdyk then off the boards to Hendricks Lapierre. Lapierre will carry it through center, dump down low into the Buffalo zone. Byram battling for it then with Tom Wilson. Wilson now tries to feed a puck up to center. It's kept in then by the Sabres, who will break it down the other way. Thompson, turnover forced there by Pierre-Luc Dubois. Pass down low then to Lapierre. Lapierre will race for that puck. Now he battles for it in the corner with Byram. Off the boards, Noah Ostlund back for Zach Benson. Capitals keep it down low. Lapierre will throw this one back up top then. Van Riemsdyk on the right side will feed it back down low to the corner. Capitals trying to set up here in the Buffalo zone. Tage Thompson steals the puck then, gives it back down low, and now regrouping in their own end is Owen Power. First overall draft pick back in 2021. Power banks it off the boards then, and puck slides all the way back into the Washington zone. Charlie Lindgren back up then for Krebs. Krebs up to the point. Shot! Goes just wide of Lindgren. Pass in front! And Norris can't tuck that one there. He battles forward with the other number 9, Ryan Leonard. And now down low, Josh Doan, son of Shane Doan, battling forward on the right side. Protas will attempt to clear. It's kept in, though, by the Sabres. Krebs up top. Coming in then is Logan Stanley. That new pairing there with Luke Shen. Here's Chikrin. Off the board. Stanley tries to keep that one in. It comes back to center. He'll try and feed a breakout pass down low. He ends up just dumping it down low into the zone anyhow. Here below the line then is his teammate Tanner Pearson. 3 Winnipeg Jets joining this brand new Sabres team. All of them were traded at the trade deadline. Below the line now is the other deadline acquisition, Sam Carrick. Buffalo made a lot of moves at this year's deadline. Carrick cycles it around now up top. He gets some room. Shoots it. Denied by Lindgren. Buffalo kind of hemming Washington here in their own zone. Pass in front then. And not being able to convert. Pearson, he gets another shot on, denied. And now below the line, Tanner Pearson up top to Samuelson. Cross ice pass, Dahlin moves in. Spinorama move there. Waits for options. Fires it. Denied by Lindgren through all of the traffic. And Buffalo is off and running here early. It's not often I'm doing a Sabres game and they're in Buffalo. I feel like it's been forever, actually. Shots 3-0 here in favor of Buffalo. I don't know why I had the shot for Washington. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. 16:47 left to go in period number 1. Is there any playoff experience on Buffalo's roster? Yeah, Jason Zucker's been on playoff runs. Luke Shen and Stanley have. Not like deep playoff runs, but they got guys with experience. Face off again now in the Washington zone. It's one back by the Sabres up top. Shot! Denied there by Lindgren. This place is loud here in Buffalo. You can already hear the cheers. Benson battling forward then in the corner. It's taken off then by Sandin. Thompson dekes around the defenders. We'll move this one up top then back to Power. Power down low. Banked off the boards to the corner. Now Byram back over then for Benson. Taken back down low by Noah Ostlund. Back up top. Byram regroups to the point. Bowen Byram drops it back up top. Power on the right side. Thompson, a shot! And that one is blocked in front. Puck is cleared all the way back into the Sabres zone. Benson, drop back over then for Power. Owen Power here will now regroup in his own end. Giving up then for McLeod. McLeod clears it down low into the zone. Shots 5-0 in favor of the Sabres If I knew they were wearing their goat heads, I'd make that the logos and stuff here. On the right side, battling forward is Zucker. Now Jack Quinn's there as well, trying to feed a pass down low. It's stolen back then by Van Riemsdyk. Capitals still looking for their first shot. Ovechkin off the boards, then down low. Grab back and up top. Ovechkin moves in, shoots it. And that one goes wide of Luke Conan just like that. Faravari clears it down low. McMichael trying to get to that one as well. Intercepted then by the Sabres. 2-on-2 now breaks out through center. McLeod with Quinn. Kind of gets tied up there a little bit. Quinn tried to throw a centering pass. It was broken up then by McMichael. And he will gain the line and dump that one down low into the Buffalo zone. About 5 minutes gone here in this first period. 5 shots for Buffalo, none for the Caps. Here's Krebs through center. We'll dump that one down low into the Washington zone. Now Pierre-Luc Dubois will bank it back to center, trying to clear that one away. Buffalo still keeping on the pressure. Here's Doan. Into the zone, tries to clear it down low. Now Chychrun played up for Lapierre. Cross-ice pass to center. Stolen back then by Dahlin on the right side. Rasmus Dahlin comes back to his own end then to regroup. Dahlin back to Samuelson. Chipped off the boards to center. Matt Roy over then for Chychrun. Cross-ice pass to Dubois. Here's Dubois, shot gloved by Luke Conan just like that. 14:29 left to go here in period number 1. Capitals get their first shot of the game. It comes from Pierre-Luc Dubois. And Washington struggling to get wins here as of late and push themselves further to a playoff spot. I think things are sadly coming to a close here. Face-off in the Buffalo zone, won by the Sabres. Owen Power, now below the line then, back over for Byram. Byram, into the zone, cleared in by Carrick. Puck is banked back all the way up top. Shot on goes wide of Lindgren. Here's Roy. Banks it off the boards. Back over then for Power. Yeah, Stanley is in the lineup. Power back over then, down low in the corner. Carrick up for Mallenstein. Back Mallenstein, back in front, they score! It's Sam Carrick! And it's 1-0 Sabres. A seamless passing play, and they convert on it. 13:58 to go in the first. And Sam Carrick makes it 1-0 Buffalo, just like that. Nice little passing play there. Great pass by Mallenstein behind the legs in front for Carrick. And he has, I believe that's his first goal as a Sabre. And it's 1-0 Buffalo. 6th goal of the year for Carrick. Face-off at center then is won by the Caps. Faravari banked off the boards and all the way back into the Buffalo zone. Down low in the corner, Sordiff back to Beauvillier. Broken up then by the Sabres. They break it through center now. Tage Thompson will wait here in his own end. Off the boards and chip back down low to the Washington zone. Benson intercepted then by the Caps. They try and clear. Sabres keeping the physicality going here as well. Down the right side, Logan Stanley dumps it into the zone. Grab back then by Van Riemsdyk. Will clear that one around behind the net. Faravari off the boards then for Sordiff. Back to Beauvillier. Saucer pass then to Trevor Van Riemsdyk. Back to Leonard. Pass up top. McMichael on the right side. Intercepted then by the Sabres. They will get it out to center. Benson flicks it in. Quinn racing for it. Trying to get to that puck. It's stolen back by Jacob Chychrun, who will hold it back behind the net. Chychrun up then for McMichael. Puck is dumped back down low into the Buffalo zone. Dahlin for Samuelson. Stolen back then by the Sabres. McLeod to center. Just a lot of back and forth. It's a very fast-paced start. Here's Duhaime now dumping it down low into the Buffalo zone. Grabbing it back is Dahlin off the boards for McLeod. Sabres only 5 losses this season when they score first. 29 wins this season. Here's Dahlin, a shot. Save by Lindgren from up top. That's sick. That's sick, Sharky. That's cool. Well, I'm glad you're watching me at least. All right. 12:24 left to go in period number 1. Sabres lead the Caps 1-0. It is Sam Carrick from Beck Malenstein. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the wonderful commentary stream. Thank you, T-Rev. I appreciate it. Let's take a look at the status report here revolving around these two teams. So there's a lot here. The Capitals did not hold a morning skate following their loss to the Flyers. Lindgren is starting, obviously, after Logan Thompson made 18 saves in the loss last night to Philadelphia. Alex Tuch is questionable after not playing the final 7 minutes of the win against San Jose on Tuesday. I can confirm that Alex Tuch is not in the lineup. So Alex Tuch looks like is going to miss maybe a little bit of time here. Shen and Pearson are obviously making their debuts here tonight. So there you go. Shen in place of Kesselring, it looks like. And then Pearson, it was on a line with Josh Dunn and Kozak. But they're going a lot of like different line combinations here. And it looks like things are shaping up to be Pearson alongside, I think that was Carrick and Malenstein. All right, almost back here from commercial break. Sam Carrick gets the Sabres up and running here early. Yeah, maybe we can get to 10K. We're a little ways away from that, though. We still got a little bit of ways away to go. All right, face-off coming up here now. It's going to be here in the Capitals zone. It'll be Dubois versus Norris. Face-off won by the Sabres. Power up top. Shoots it. Saved by Lindgren. Rebounds there for Norris. Can't get there in time. Now off the boards. Pavillier will clear this one to center. Owen Power. He'll regroup now in his own end. Power down low. Pass up ahead then for Krebs. Krebs to Doan. Back down low then. Capitals take it back. Chychrun. Throws it to center. Grab back then by the Sabres on the right side, Norris. Back up to Doan. It's intercepted then again by Washington. Timothy Liljegren here in the Capitals lineup as well. That's worth mentioning. Trade deadline acquisition from San Jose. Sabres get it back now. Here they come the other way. Byram breaks the zone. Will get it around Chychrun. Byram battling for it now with Roy. Right side, Chychrun feeds it all the way back up top. Taken back then by Samuelson, who will throw a cross-ice pass to Pearson. Up top then for Malenstein. Back Malenstein, looks for options. Throws it down low then to Carrick. Carrick in front! And that fourth line nearly converts again. But Charlie Lindgren makes the save. Big save there for Charlie Lindgren. And it's just been absolutely domination here by the Buffalo Sabres. Shots are 8-0 in favor of Buffalo. They have been absolutely just giving it to the Caps here through these first 9 minutes of play. Face-off here now, won by the Capitals. Banked off the boards to center. Protas battling forward with Darlene. Leonard up ahead then for Strome. Dylan Strome loops it around up top to Leonard. Broken up then by the Sabres. Here they come through center. Jokiharju dumps it down low. Or not, no, Jokiharju. Carrick. So used to number 10 being Jokiharju. Van Riemsdyk battling for it down low. Protas off the boards to center. Grab back then by Malenstein down low. Given up then for Samuelson below the line. Approaching the halfway mark of this first period. Matthias Samuelson back up ahead then for Tage Thompson. Thompson gains the zone. Dumps it down low then into the Washington zone. Grab back then by Dahlin, tries getting it to Zach Benson. It's broken up then by Washington. Sabres keep it in. The pressure keeps on going. Capitals finally get it back. Here's Sordiff now through center. 3-on-2 developing. Sordiff with Faravari. Faravari comes in, fires it over, and Sordiff could not tuck it on the backhand. Here come the Sabres the other way. Thompson battling for it then with Benson. Benson backhands it off then to Leonard. Here's Roy now through the zone to Ovechkin. Ovechkin shoots it, save, rebounds in front. Denied by Luukkonen as Beauvillier had a great A opportunity, but could not get it past. Thank you, T-Rev. And there's the first chances of the game there for Washington. Shots now 8-2 with 10:05 to go in this first period. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement. We just crossed over 5,300 subscribers. Thank you all so much for that. Face-off in the Buffalo zone then is won by the Sabres. They're trying to get out of the zone. Liljegren holding that one in. Here's Brandon Duhaime. Here below the line, stolen back then by Buffalo. Shots are a whopping 9-2 in favor of the Sabres. Pass down low to McLeod, could not convert. Another shot on there is blocked also. Quinn, down low in the corner. Jacob Chikrin trying to steal that one back. Capitals are in a back-to-back here. They played in Philadelphia last night. They lost that game 4-1. And against the red-hot Sabres team is not exactly what they ordered. Here's Zucker. Up top to Byram. Byram at the point. Fires it. Tipped in front. Back down low to the corner. Now Zucker battling for it. Cleared back to the right side. Capitals trying to get it back. Duhaime will flick this one off the boards to center. Now Bowen Byram throws it back down low then and regrouping his Power. Owen Power here. First overall draft pick a couple of years back. That was nearly 5 years ago. What's up, puppy? Here's Power. Back over then for Metso. We'll dump that one down low. Puck goes up in the air and into the glove of Charlie Lindgren. And I apologize. That was Braden Shen, not Metso. So that goal from Sam Carrick is the only one we have so far. And the Sabres lead the Caps 1-0. It is a 14-game slate in the NHL tonight. Plenty of other games going on as of right now. Plenty of other good games tonight. Sharks and Bruins, Ducks and Maple Leafs, Red Wings and Lightning, Blue Jackets, Panthers, Flames and Devils, Blues and Canes. A lot of good hockey games going on tonight. I was originally going to do Red Wings and Lightning. I think that would have did good too. But, you know, again, like, I looked at this one and I'm like, I need to do the Sabres. I need to do the Sabres more because we're coming up on the playoffs. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I knew I needed to do the Sabres at some point. Yes, sir. You know we hydrating. But I appreciate all your guys' support on yesterday's Canadian Senators stream. We'll be live at 10 o'clock tonight for for Avalanche and Kraken. It is our third Kraken game in a hot minute. And we are commentating Nazem Kadri facing off against Seattle. Bobby McMahon still not in Seattle. And then tomorrow is Islanders and Kings. So that'll be our commentary streams for the rest of the week. All right, 8:46 left to go here in period number 1. Shots are, you're not seeing this wrong, 9-1 in favor of the Sabres, and they have the 1-0 lead here early. Face-off in the Washington zone then, won by the Capitals. Dubois clears it to center. Taken back then by the Caps on the right side, Sordiff. Stolen back by Dahlin. Dahlin over then for Samuelson, who will dump it down low. It's grabbed back then by Sandin on the right side. Roy Banked all the way back to center. Battling for it then is Dahlin. Dahlin over then for Josh Doan. Doan, cross-ice pass. Shot! Deny rebounds there. And Charlie Lindgren keeps it a 1-0 game. Doan battling for it on the right side. Puck is cleared back to center. Samuelson over then and for Dahlin, who will flick that one down low into the Washington zone. Capitals just seemingly getting ripped off the puck and almost handing it away to the Sabres every opportunity they get. Strome dumps it down low there on Luukkonen. Luukkonen will cover up with 7:48 to go. Really high-paced game so far. So it's Sam Carrick from Beck Mallenstein and Owen Power, who make it a 1-0 lead for Buffalo with a little under 8 minutes to go. I appreciate everybody here in the chat. Off to a great start here on this commentary stream. Make sure to like the video, subscribe down below if you're new. Face off here, won by the Sabres. Shen, cross-ice pass up then for Pearson. Pearson off the boards now to Mallenstein. Mallenstein battling for it then with Faravari. Cleared back then below the line. Alexi Protas on the right side. Puck comes all the way back to center. Grab back then by Stanley. Backhanded into the zone by Mallenstein. Caps will get a chance to regroup. Faravari. Over then to Leonard, who will dump it into the Washington zone. Power. Back over to Byram. Bowen Byram now below the line will throw a pass up for Mallenstein. It'll go back into the Washington zone. Grab back by Trevor Van Riemsdyk. Pass up ahead then for Beauvillier. Beauvillier will clear this one down low. Grabbing it back is Power. Right side then for Beauvillier. Taken back by Benson. Sabres trying to get out of their own zone here. Sordiff in front. Could not get the shot on. Good defensive play by Power. Puck is cleared back to center. 3-on-2 now. Thompson into the zone. Pass up top. Benson to Thompson. Back over. Denied by Lindgren. What a stop. And the Sabres are cooking it up. Here's Samuelson. Drops it back to Thompson. Thompson now moves to center. Can't get the shot on. Pass in front. Broken up. Thompson back now at the point. Tage Thompson loops around back to Samuelson. Samuelson battling for it then with Beauvillier. Taken back then by the Caps, who will clear it to center. It's grabbed back by Rasmus Dahlin. Over then for Benson. Benson drops it back. Samuelson a shot. And that one's back down low then for Duhaime. Back in the corner now grabbing it is Sandin. Nearly turned it over. Capitals, I know they played last night, but they just seem very slow off of the rip here. Here's McMichael through center. Shot on, saved by Luukkonen. Puck comes into the crease. And it's across the goal line, but the net came off. So they blew it dead. Or at least the Capitals, they celebrated. I'm not exactly sure what's going to come of this, but they might take a look at this and see if this crossed the line before the net came off. Yeah, Carberry's looking at it. See if they're making the right call here. Shots are 9-2. They changed up the shots. Oh, got rid of the frickin' shots 9-2. There we go. And my clock is still going. Sorry. Yep, shots 9-2. Appreciate the play-by-play. Hulu not carrying the game on ESPN+. Ah, that sucks. No problem, though. I appreciate being in the stream, Tom. 5:47 is how much time is on the clock. And the only goal comes from Sam Carrick, giving the Sabres a 1-0 lead here early. It's cold down here. Appreciate that, T-Rev. Yeah, bro. All right. So, again, we have this stream tonight. We have Kraken and Avalanche at 10 o'clock. Stream start time is 9:58 p.m. Eastern time. And then tomorrow we have Islanders and Kings at 7. Stream start time 6:58. And then we don't have a stream on Saturday. Sunday we'll be doing Panthers and Kraken. That'll be a fun one.
Well, that's just a old dial-up email. I don't want to say AOL, MSN. I'm guessing it's like an early computer. Well, that's AOL Instant Messenger for sure. Is that like the original AOL? Probably like email.
All right. So the referees are taking a look at this play. We'll see if there's any goal that comes out of this. They didn't show the replay, so I really can't tell you guys. They just went to commercial break. But if they show me the replay, I can address it. So basically, they were jabbing at Luukkonen. The puck might have crossed the line, but the net came off. And I didn't get to see any of the replay or anything, so I really have no idea what exactly the call is going to be here. So it could be a goal. It may not be a goal. I don't know. I do not know. All right, let's take a look here. So Luukkonen, puck comes wide. They make the save. Luukkonen slides into the net. Yeah, this is probably not a goal. I'll just be honest with you. This is probably not a goal. You don't even really see it cross the goal line. Yeah, so the puck went wide of the net. It slid on Luukkonen. The Caps tried to push it in. Luukkonen went across the goal line, but you can't see the puck. Unless if that replay doesn't do it justice. We'll see what the call is here. No goal. All right. So from all that, there is no goal on the play. It's difficult to call those because the puck is under Luukkonen. You can't just assume that it's across the goal line. You have to be able to see it. So there you go. Face-off here now, won by the Sabres. It's Luke Schenn who will dump that one off the boards to center. Malenstein battling forward then with Dubois. Back down low into the zone. Here's Stanley. Off the boards on the right side then. Zucker up then for Carrick. This fourth line here of Buffalo, Malenstein, Pearson, and Carrick. Puck is cleared back into the Buffalo zone for an icing against the Caps. Shots 10-3 now. They keep changing the shots on me. Of course they are. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Really fast opening period here. Face off again now in the Washington zone is won by the Sabres. Top power. Will bank that one down low. Stolen back then by Sandin to center. Roy tried to give it up then for Lapierre. Dubois battling for it on the right side. Here's Zucker. Deeks through the defenseman. Almost got a shot on, but could not convert. Here's Pierre-Luc Dubois. Off the boards then for McLeod. Byram. Below the line then to Power. Here come the Sabres the other way. It's McLeod 3-on-2 with Zucker. Zucker back up top. Shot. Goes wide there of Quinn. Is that how you say it? Thank you, Steven. Yeah, names like that I always screw up, but I appreciate the correction. Here's McLeod battling for it then with Dubois. Back to Chychrun. Below the line then, Liljegren back over to Dubois. Caps trying to set up and make a push, but the Sabres keep on hemming them every chance they try and get out. Chychrun will clear that one down low to the Sabres zone. Grabbing it then on the right side. Buffalo will move this one through center. Here's Doan, one-on-one. Broken up then by the Caps. Josh Doan keeps that one in the zone. Now Norris battling for it, trying to throw a pass in front. Broken up. Cleared back to the point. Dahlin, right side then to Samuelson. Shoots it. Denied rebounds in front. And Doan can't get the rebound shot on. Here's Norris to Doan. Back to Krebs' shot. That one's blocked as well. Ryan Leonard now behind the net then to Chychrun. Jacob Chikrin will drop it back then down low for Trevor Van Riemsdyk. TVR now will hold this one behind the net for the Caps as his team gets a line change. Again, as I said, Washington played last night against Philadelphia. It was a 4-1 loss. Here's Faravari now carrying this one through center. He's hit back by Stanley. Logan Stanley now behind the net. Turnover forced there. Here's Mavillier. Looks, pass up top, shot! Blocked in front, and it did not get to Luukkonen. Stanley off the boards to center. Thompson battling for it then with Sordiff. Sordiff gets it back first. Pass all the way up to center. Ovechkin now with speed. Alex Ovechkin through his legs, now fighting with Byram. Byram will take it away from him and speed it back down the other way. Byram to Thompson. Thompson, pass over, blocked by Roy. Justin Sordiff now down low in the corner. Over then for Roy, who will break this one through center. Drop back over for Sordiff, who will come through center. Sordiff breaks it back down the other way. Chips it down low then into the Buffalo zone. Puck comes up in the air then for Duhaime. Duhaime up top. Liljegren shoots it, blocked. Now here comes Krebs with speed. Back up then for Carrick. Carrick off the boards to Pearson. Pearson down low. He falls to the ground. Carrick trying to get that puck free. He'll feed it up top. Power can't keep it in the zone. Racing for it then was McMichael, but could not get there in time. Here's Pearson. We'll hold it back down low. Whistle blown here. We have a penalty coming up. It's going to be against the Sabres. Oh, never mind. It's a penalty on the Caps. Why did they blow the whistle when Pearson had the puck then? Huh. What? Why did they blow it dead when Pearson had the puck? Whatever. Connor McMichael to the box. And we will get a Buffalo power play. It'll be Thompson, Dahlin, Zucker, Norris, and Doan. The faceoff is won by the Sabres. Tage Thompson now carries it down low then below the line. Thompson back behind the net then for Doan. Doan to Thompson. Up top to Dahlin at the point. Back to Norris. A shot denied. Rebounds there. And Doan can't tuck it. In the corner now, Roy battling for it. Bavillier's there as well. Norris in the corner. Grab back then by Bavillier. Kept in then by the Sabres. Dahlin pass up top. Doan broken up, and the Caps clear it all the way down the other way. Sabres now regroup with the puck. This power play will carry over into the second period a bit. Here's Doan. Back over then for Norris. Norris carries it through center back to Zucker. Up top, Dahlin to Zucker. Back to Dahlin at the point. Approaching the final minute of play in period number 1. Rasmus Dahlin up top. Back to Thompson. Down low now below the line. Thompson to the point. Dahlin, a shot denied. Now Norris battling for it on the right side. Protas will try and clear to the right side. Dahlin to Thompson. Denied by Lindgren as well. Here's Dahlin to Thompson again. And he fires it wide. Here's Norris back to Thompson. And again denied by Lindgren. They're trying it every time. Thompson again is blocked. Oh my Lord, just Thompson, 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 Thompson. Every time the one-timer. Here's Thompson. We'll hold it now in the right circle. Back to Dahlin up top. Dahlin to Thompson! Off the side of the net. And cleared away by the Caps. 20 seconds left to go in the first period. I swear Thompson had like 5 one-timers on that singular power play as it comes to a close. Here's McLeod now through center. McLeod down low, pass up top. Broken up then by the Sabres. 5 seconds to go. Fighting forward here in the corner. Washington will clear it back to center, and that'll do it. What an insane sequence of hockey. 15 shots for the Sabres in that opening period, and they make it a 1-0 lead after 20 minutes of play. That being said, folks, it is intermission time. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. I can't even believe that. We'll be back for the start of the second period momentarily. This is the countdown till the second. And thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It brings more people into the commentary. Wow, what a first period that was. These Sabres are freaking rolling. This is so much fun to watch. All right, so plenty of other games going on in the NHL currently. We're going to take a little bit of a breather. And then we'll get ready for the second in just a moment. You guys have any questions or anything you guys want to talk about, comment them in the comment section down below. It would be greatly appreciated. Whew. All right, see you, T-Rev. Wow, what a first period that was. Take a second to take a breather, because it was just nonstop action, and it usually always is, but man. Buffalo's rolling here tonight. And hey, I'm not complaining. That is Sam Carrick's second goal in a commentary stream. It was assisted by Malenstein and Power. Malenstein with his third point in the commentary. What's up, King? We'll go over the other scores around the NHL here in just a moment. Owen Power with the secondary assist. That is his third point as a Sabre. In commentary streams, by the way. We keep track of all the commentary stats here. Starting goaltenders tonight were Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and Charlie Lindgren. Shots were 15-3 in that first period. Charlie Lindgren, 14 saves on 15 shots, .933. Luukkonen, only 3 saves on 3 shots. He has a perfect save percentage here tonight. And that was a great pace there for Buffalo in that first period. It was fast. It was quick movement. That was nuts.
Some new additions making their way in during this homestand. We've seen, 4 games from Sam Carrick, and he's got a couple of goals now. Let's get into our Seneca storyline. Seneca, the exclusive and official casino sponsor of the Buffalo Sabres. But Malenstein had a duty last game against the Sharks, and Pearson joins that trio tonight.
All right. 15-3 are the shots in that opening period. Sam Carrick with the only goal. And that was a fun period, though. I really enjoyed myself. So there you go. Very fast pace as well. We're not even an hour into this commentary. We're already done the first period. Game started a little bit earlier, though, so. Jackets, Panthers, scoreless. Shots 14-3. I can check that. Yeah, shots are 14-3 in favor of the Jackets. That being said, we can talk about the other games around the NHL tonight. Bruins and Sharks. That'll be a good game there. It's 1-0 in favor of San Jose. Michael Misa from Eklund and Toffoli makes it a 1-0 lead there for the Sharks. So when you're looking at teams that are trying to chase those said teams that are above them, meaning Boston, you definitely like to see Boston losing there to the Sharks. Ducks and Maple Leafs is 2-1 Anaheim after 20 minutes of play. Cutter Gauthier and Ian Moore with the 2 goals there. Matias Maccelli with the only goal there for the Maple Leafs in that first period as well. Red Wings and Lightning is scoreless through 20 minutes of play. Blue Jackets and Panthers is also scoreless through 20 minutes of play. Flames and Devils is a 2-1 lead for Calgary through 20 minutes of play. Kevin Ball and Johnny Beecher scored for the Flames, and Maxim Tesplikov scores for the Devils. And then the other game that is currently going on, Blues and Hurricanes, is a 1-0 lead for Carolina after 20 minutes of play. Mark Jankowski with the goal in that one. Other games that are going on here tonight, Oilers and Stars. That'll be on ESPN tonight. Flyers and Wild. Flyers on a back-to-back after taking on the Capitals yesterday. Rangers and Jets. Blackhawks and Mammoth after their matchup on Monday, which is an overtime win for Chicago. That game should be fun. And then Predators, Canucks. I was going to do that one, but then I was like, I want to see Kadri in a game for Colorado. So we're doing Colorado-Seattle. That's the other game tonight. And then Penguins and Golden Knights is also on the slate. All right, now we just wait. Gonna take some time, chill out here for a moment. I appreciate everybody joining the commentary, being here in the stream. It means a lot. Just gonna take a chill pill here to the second period. That's what intermissions typically are like here. Never heard of that Devils player. He was on the Islanders. Not really that well known of a guy. Tesplikov. He's not a great player. He was okay last year. He was a rookie last year, but this year really fell off a cliff again. Not a well-known guy. So shall see what the second period has to hold. But a really good period there for the Sabres. They kept up the pressure. Even on that power play, it was just Thompson. It was nuts. Yeah, Connor Garland's been good for the Jackets. He's been fun to watch. Back-to-back multi-goal games? Damn. Maybe he can do that again tonight.
It's been absolutely incredible. I think just getting to celebrate it in my hometown with all my friends and family has just been a cherry on top of an amazing experience.
So let's go back to like COVID, right? About 5-6 years ago, you were looking for a place to skate and stay in shape. You skated with my son's team with the junior skaters. Like, what's the last 6 years?
All right, now we just chill out for a little bit longer here. Stick around, guys, till the second period coming up in just a moment. I appreciate everybody being here in the commentary. It means a lot. And we'll get ready for the middle frame here in just a moment.
How different is it from winning all the worlds that you've won?
It's indescribable, honestly. Like pure elation winning that gold medal. It's been my dream of mine my whole life, and when it finally happened, I just couldn't believe it. My dad actually talked about when the gold medal finally went on. I went, oh, like finally, you know. So it's amazing.
Now, when you were up in Milano for the Olympics, like these are all your pictures. Like, how many pictures do you take usually, and how many more pictures did you take at the Olympics?
I'm not much of a photo taker normally, but you know, you got Snoop Dogg there, so I was taking lots of photos. I must have thousands, honestly. It's just been absolutely amazing. I wanted to capture everything.
That's cool. You have a first place battle this weekend with Montreal and Boston, right?
Yeah. Big game in Montreal, so our home crowd's going to be really excited for that one. And we haven't played them since the beginning of the season, so a lot has changed, so we're really excited.
When you talk about the PWHL, though, like there's girls on Finland, on Sweden, on Czech Republic. How cool is that to see, like the outreach in different countries for the PWHL?
It's huge, and we see like how much skill like those international teams are getting now. So the competition's a lot harder, and you see them elevating their play in the pro league and then at the Olympic stage.
All right, thank you for stopping by. Save that voice. You probably need to, support your teammates this weekend at some point. Call for a great pass, score another goal, win another game. That's what you do. She's a great winner, Haley Stamura. Thanks for joining us tonight, Haley. Obviously, what a game we're being treated to already from a pace standpoint by the Sabres.
All right, second period coming up here in just under 5 minutes. We will be back. Was just kind of watching the intermission there for a couple moments here.
Make an easy switch to Diamond Credit Union. We keep the focus where it should be, on you. At Diamond, we connect your business to a more personalized, dedicated approach than what traditional banks can offer. We meet you where you are, right inside your community, where we've been serving our members since 1947. We're working together and growing together. Where ambition meets intuition, and where best in class meets best in community. That's unity. That's Diamond Credit Union.
All right.
Toyota, let's go places. Seneca Resorts and Casino. Nothing else comes close. And by Hyundai. It's your journey. Own every mile in a brand new Hyundai.
Luke Shannon, 5 minutes in his Sabres debut in period number 1. Tanner Pearson just over 4, and that line that Pearson was on factored in the only goal of the Carrick scoring for the second time in 4 games.
What's up, Richards? Yup, another fun night. Hell yeah. All right, we'll go over the second period in just a moment. We're almost there, folks. Alrighty, we're getting ready to start the second period here between the Buffalo Sabres and the Washington Capitals. The boys coming out of the locker room here giving their fist pumps away as we get ready for the start of the middle frame here from KeyBank Center. First period recap, the only goal that was scored in that opening frame came from Sam Carrick. 6 minutes into the opening period. Nice little pass down low there from Beck Malenstein. And Carrick with the easy backdoor pass made it a 1-0 lead. Assist on that play. Malenstein and Power. You take a look at your stats through 20. Shots were 15-3 in favor of Buffalo. Face-off percentage was 77% in favor of the Sabres as well. Power plays, Buffalo 0 for 1. Capitals yet to have a power play here tonight. Hits were 10-9 in favor of the Sabres. Block shots were 5-4 in favor of Washington as well. As we get ready for period number 2, my little timer here ticking on down. Stop that, put the 20 minutes on, and we are ready to get started. Do I really think Buffalo could go all the way or just streaming? Define all the way. Do you mean all the way like playoffs or all the way like Stanley Cup? I think they make the playoffs. Stanley Cup is a little bit out of the question, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible, but we'll see. This is the second time of 3 times these two teams will face off against each other. They'll play one more time, April 4th, early in the month of April. And that will end this series between these two teams. Who knows? Maybe Buffalo was in a playoff spot by then. You never know. Sabres almost at 90 points, though. They could tie for first place in the conference with a win here tonight. And after that first period, they played very, very well. And we'll see if they can get it over here once again here in the second. All right, period number 2. An Eastern Conference matchup between the Washington Capitals and the Buffalo Sabres. Yeah, I think they make playoffs. Cup? No. I don't think this is a streak. I think Buffalo will make it, though. Alrighty, period number 2 is underway. Face-off is won here by the Sabres. Dahlin off the boards, back down low into the Washington zone. Roy off the boards to center. Now Ethan Frank will carry this one down the right side. Battling forward in the corner then is McMichael. Over then for Zucker. Zucker will chip it off the boards, back down low to the Washington zone. Sandin fighting with Quinn. Back up then for Frank. Frank will chip it down low. Grabbing it then is Owen Power in the corner, back off the boards for Byram. Bowen Byram now below the line then for Buffalo. He will hold this puck behind the net then for the Sabres as we cross through the first minute of play in this second. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement. Here's Ostlund through the zone. Broken up then by the Caps. Liljegren up ahead then for Lapierre. It's broken up then quickly by Power. Pass to center for Norris. Norris to Ostlund. Back then for Benson. Benson dumps it around behind the net. Pass back up top. Power. Cross ice pass to Byram. Byram clears it into the zone. Lindgren tried to go out there and get it. Could not get there in time. Now Faravari off the boards for Van Riemsdyk. Pass back over then for PLD. Caps hold it down low now in their own zone. Thrown back to center. Dubois. Up ahead then to Ryan Leonard. Leonard comes in. Loops back around. Battling forward down on the right side with Krebs. Leonard below the line then for Protas. Protas back up top for Liljegren. Liljegren will dump it around behind the net then to Leonard. He touches the puck, and I think we might have a penalty coming up here. Or maybe it's a high stick. I'm not 100% sure why they blew the whistle. But anyway, 18:06 to go here in this second period. Where's my remote? Maybe I'm a little bit delayed. Wouldn't be the first time. No, looks like I'm okay. All right, face-off here now in the Sabres zone. It's won by Buffalo. Stanley chipped off the boards, back then down low. Here's Doan. Fires it on, denied there by Lindgren. Norris battling forward in the corner then with Liljegren. Pass back up top. Over then for Stanley. Stolen back then by Washington. Here's Ryan Leonard with speed. Leonard shoots it. He scores! It's the rookie Ryan Leonard who ties the game at 1 on the Capitals' 4th shot. And a good answer back there for Washington after a brutal first period. And he gets around Logan Stanley. That is not a great look there for the deadline acquisition. Fires it past UPL. And we are tied at 1. So Ryan Leonard, his 14th goal of the season. He is now tied with Demidov and Mitten for 5th place in the NHL in rookie scoring. And on the Capitals' 4th shot of the game, they convert. We are tied. Puck is grabbed down low then in the Buffalo zone. Dahlin off the boards for Carrick. Cleared back to center. Grabbing it then is Tanner Pearson. Pearson backhands it around then behind the net to Carrick. Carrick up top, Samuelson. Waits, shoots it. And that one goes back down low to the corner. Carrick now battling forward with Sordeff. Pass back to Dahlin. Dahlin comes into the zone. Pass up top. Carrick looks, fires it up in the air. And out of play. So Ryan Leonard with the game-tying goal. That's his 14th of the year. I'm not sure if there's going to be any assists that play into that, but we will obviously see. Shots now 16-4. Charlie Lindgren with a good game here tonight. Face-off now won by the Sabres. Shot on Lindgren is gloved. And a nice little shot there from up top. Realized my clock was going for way too long, and it was going when the play wasn't happening, so I apologize for that. Face-off here now won by the Sabres. Shot on is blocked. Capitals try to flick it back to center. Frank off the boards, down low to the corner. McLeod back then for Samuelson. Samuelson intercepted then by Washington. McMichael up to Frank. Puck slides to center. Frank will clear it back down low then to Sandin. Sandin will dump it into the Washington zone, or the Buffalo zone, sorry, and that's actually an icing. Wow. I didn't realize it wasn't before the line. So Ryan Leonard, 14th of the year. Looks like it was unassisted, so Leonard there with another goal. He scores a lot in commentaries. He's a commentary merchant. Face-off here now in the corner. Roy will bank this one off the boards. Back up top. Byram keeps it in. Backhanded down low. Grab back by Thompson. Tage Thompson will throw it down low behind the net. Capitals battling forward here in the corner. Roy with Ostland. McMichael's there as well. Back up then for Thompson. Tage Thompson will deke into the zone. Shoots it. And it deflects up in the air. Really nice play there from Washington. Here's Ethan Frank. Down the right side. Will dump it down low into the Buffalo zone. Bowen Byram will carry it back around then behind the net. Byram back for Benson. Here's Zach Benson. Through the zone off to Thompson. Thompson pass up top. Byram a shot. And that one is deflected into the corner. 2-on-2 the other way. Wilson back up for Dubois. Dubois to Van Riemsdyk. Van Riemsdyk now below the line. Fed back up top. Stolen back then by the Sabres. Power. Cleared to center. Capitals get it back. Played ahead then now. Lapierre through center. Pass to Wilson! And that one deflects off of Luukkonen and out of play. And Tom Wilson with a great opportunity there. I'm not even sure Luukkonen got a glove on that or anything. I don't know if he got a piece of that at all. See the replay here. Nah, Wilson completely missed the net. So never mind that. But a backdoor chance there, and Luukkonen gets kind of bailed out there a little bit. I think that would have been a goal there for Wilson had he put it in the right area. But alas, he could not convert. Face-off coming up here now in the Sabres zone. Once again, it's won back by the Caps. Up top now, Leonard. Waits. Holds it at the point. Shoots it on. It's blocked then by the Sabres. Here they come the other way. Stanley. Off the boards to center. Doan back over for Chychrun. Racing for it then is Strome. Logan Stanley now behind the net. Battling for it then was Strome. Stanley off the boards then for Liljegren. Back to the point to Chychrun. Down low then for Leonard. Ryan Leonard back over to Strome. Strome off the boards behind the net then for Stanley. Logan Stanley here in the corner will flick this one to center. Puck slides all the way back into the Washington zone, icing against the Sabres with 14:53 left to go in period number 2. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement. We have 61 people here in the commentary stream. That is awesome. I appreciate all the support, guys. It means a lot. Face-off coming up here now again in the Buffalo zone. Shots 18-4 still. Sabres win the draw on their own end. It's Krebs thrown back to center. Grabbed over then by Sandin, who will dump it down low to the Buffalo end. Shen on the right side. Caps keep it in. Sabres will bank it to center. Sandin. Pass back down low then to Roy. Roy off the boards and ahead then 3-on-3. Bavillier with Sordiff. Sordiff to Ovechkin. Ovechkin dumps it around behind the net then to Sordiff, who's knocked off the puck. Now Stanley. Back over then to Malenstein. Malenstein will chip this one to center. Roy picks it up now for the Caps. Dump back down low then into the Buffalo zone. Grabbed quickly then by Malenstein behind the net. Back over to Dahlin. Rasmus Dahlin now will carry this one through center. Pass up back then for Malenstein, who backhands it in there on Lindgren, who will make the save and cover up with exactly 6 minutes gone here in this second period. Sabres keeping the pressure on even still. Shots 19-4. Shots are 5-1 in favor of Buffalo in this second period. Or I apologize, 4-1, not 5-1. But what a just very lopsided game. And good on the rookie there, Ryan Leonard, to come rushing back down the other way. Fires a shot in the corner of Luukkonen's net. Face-off coming up here now in the Capital Zone once again. Fan of the Caps? Nice. Welcome to the stream, Marcus. Face-off one here now by the Capitals and cleared all the way back to center. Here's Samuelson. Down low, back over to Dahlin. Dahlin back ahead then for McLeod. McLeod pass over and Zucker is blocked. Grab back then by Ethan Frank, who will clear it to center. Racing forward with speed then's Duhaime. Battling forward on the right side with Samuelson now in the corner. McMichael trying to get it back there as well. Connor McMichael back to Brandon Duhaime. Duhaime throws it up top. Faravari shoots it. Blocked there by Luukkonen. Back into the corner. Yes, Jason Zucker's in the game. Here's Samuelson. Off the boards to McLeod. McLeod comes in through center. Throws it back up top. Dahlin to Samuelson. Down low then. McLeod pass over. And Quinn cannot convert. It did not get to him. Puck comes back to center then. Dahlin off the boards for Quinn. Jack Quinn now through center. Back up to Zucker. Shoots it into the chest of Lindgren. And there's Buffalo's 20th shot of the game. About 7 minutes gone here in this second period. Shots are 20-4 And the Sabres lead the Sabres and the Caps are tied at 1. All right, I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick, guys. I will be right back.
I'm in my own head. What the heck are you talking about? I think I got away with something that I shouldn't have. See that brand new Hyundai Santa Fe? Yeah. Tell me, hey, finish that bucket on your own. Practice makes perfect.
Enjoy your new car.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.
Feels so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on select Hyundai vehicles. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
All right, I have returned. Sorry about that, guys. Had to use the bathroom really quick. 13:01 left to go in this second period. Sabres lead the Caps. Oh, no. Well, it's tied. Never mind. I keep forgetting the Caps have tied the game. I guess I just don't have a brain. Which is also pretty likely, too. Who is the only player to have played for more teams than Luke Schenn? Mike Sillinger. Obviously. I know that answer. Just walked out the balls on this kid. Yup. I definitely got balls. Face off here in the Washington zone, won by the Caps. Chipped off the boards back to center. Dumped into the zone then by Byram. Grabbed back by Liljegren. Pass back over then for Chychrun. Jacob Chychrun off the boards to center. Wilson. Down low in the Buffalo zone, back over to Dubois. Dubois up top to Liljegren. Back to Dubois. Dubois shoots it, and that one goes wide of Luukkonen. Now below the line then, getting it back is Byram, who will clear it to center. Sabres get it, or Capitals get it back. They'll dump it down low to the Buffalo zone. Thompson. Pass up then and back into the Washington zone. Icing. Shots 20-5. Sabres have 4 times the amount of shots that the Capitals have. Congratulations for USA Gold. Yeah, that was almost a month ago now. It's nuts. But yeah, it was awesome. I miss those days more and more. Face off here in the Buffalo zone is kept in by the Caps. Roy behind the net then for Protas. Protas battling forward in the corner. On the right side then is Strome fighting for it then. Down low now, Byram picks it up. Bowen Byram now below the line. Back over then for Dahlin. Power. Clears it to center. Roy, cross ice pass. Capitals starting to get a little bit of pressure here. Leonard. Drop back to Protas. Up top, Roy shoots it. Denied by Luukkonen. And now the Caps getting a handful of chances here. Take a look at these two teams. Again, the Sabres looking to tie the Carolina Hurricanes for that Eastern Conference number 1 spot. And the Capitals just, I mean, honestly, your team sold at the deadline. You're losing one of your big leaders here in John Carlson. It feels like this Capitals season is over. And in a way, it creates kind of a difficult, what do you do for the rest of the year? You just try and win as many games as you can. You try and prove these teams wrong. It's hard what you do in a situation like this. Realized my clock was still going. I apologize. Face off here in the Buffalo zone. Sabres will take it back to center. Chip back down low and in on Lindgren, who makes the save with 11:35 to go. For the Capitals, I think a lot of people look at where they are and they say, oh, they're in a bad spot. This isn't good for them. I think they're actually in a great spot. if they, like, I understand that, like, maybe they're not the greatest team in the world in terms of, you know, what they are right now, but they have a lot of good players in the future. You have a guy like Ryan Leonard, who's very young. Alexi Protas is very young. Chikrin's still relatively young. Thompson and Lindgren still relatively young as well. You have a really good roster of guys, and guys coming up on your pipeline as well that have a lot of upside. Face off in the Washington zone. Sabres will fire that one on Lindgren. It goes up in the air and back down low to the corner. Now Malenstein fighting for it with Sordiff. Kept back then by the Sabres. Malenstein up top. Shot. Saved by Lindgren. Malenstein back over then for Pearson. Now Bavillier battling for it. Pearson's also there as well. Dahlin trying to keep that one in. Now Sordiff breaks it through center. 2-on-2. Sordiff into the zone. Drop back. Shot on. Saved by Luukkonen. Or Luukkonen. Sorry. I always say it the wrong way. Samuelson. Back up to Carrick, and the puck is cleared back into the Washington zone. Van Riemsdyk will take it back then for Washington, approaching the halfway mark of the game and the period. Shots on goal are 22-7 actually now. Banked off the boards and back into the Capital zone. Roy, back up then to Sordiff. Now Ethan Frank through center. Frank drops it back. Taken back then by the Sabres. I've done up to 4 games in one day. Here's a 2-1 developing. Zucker, cross ice pass to Quinn. Back down low then for Stanley. Pass in front. And taken back away then by Chikrin. Yeah, I do 2 streams a day. It's pretty commonly, actually. What's more rare is me doing 1 to 3 streams a day. I usually like to do 2. The most I can in a day, usually. Here comes McLeod. McLeod back to Zucker. Zucker will try and dump this one down low. Grab back then by Quinn. Quinn with Wilson. Tom Wilson trying to break him off that puck. Caps get it back. They break it through center. 4-on-3. Shot into the zone there from Lapierre. He'll pick it up then down low. Back to Dubois. Dubois throws it up top. Blocked then by the Sabres. They'll get it back out to center. Thompson off the boards then for Norris. Josh Norris now moves it below the line. Battling forward here in the corner. Sandin with Wilson. Cleared back up top. Byram can't keep that one in the zone. It is forced all the way back out into the Buffalo end. Bowen Byram now carries this puck. Feeds a pass to center. Norris trying to go on a breakaway there. Taken back then by the Sabres. Ostlund battling for it. Stolen back by Faravari. Off the boards for Roy behind the Capitals net. Thrown back to center. Here's Leonard. Cross ice pass to Faravari. Breaks it into the zone. Faravari moves in. Gets around the D. Forced down low to the corner. Now the rookie Ryan Leonard grabs it back. Leonard back for Benson. Benson off the boards. Puck has gone all the way back to center and grabbed back then by Ryan Strome. Here over then for Faravari on the right side. Now Leonard. Cross ice pass. Broken up then by a Sabre stick. Buffalo still all over the Caps here. Here's a 3-on-3 now into the zone. Krebs on the right side. Feeds it back up top to center. Samuelson will hold it here now for Buffalo. Grab back then by Krebs, who's hit off the puck. Sabres and Tampa Bay, that was a game a couple days ago. 8-7 win for Buffalo against the Lightning here in this arena. One of the craziest games this season. We were doing Devil's Wings during that time. Below the line now, Duhaime will drop it back then for Sordiff. Trevor Van Riemsdyk now holds it behind the net then with less than 8 minutes to go in the second. With speed, Justin Sordiff comes into the zone, loses the puck. Now down low, Shen. Off to Malenstein. Malenstein here, pass up top then for Krebs. Carrick here in the corner trying to play this one up. Shot up top, goes wide of Lindgren. Now Logan Stanley carries it down low in the corner, battling for it then with Liljegren. Chipped off the boards to Carrick on the right side. Capitals battling for that puck. Backhanded to center. Now Pearson shoots it. And that one goes wide of Lindgren once again. Puck slides back into the Sabres zone. Delayed penalty coming up here. And it's against the Sabres. Capitals are going to head to the power play with 7:10 left to go in this first period. Yeah, what a season for the Sabres and that entire Atlantic Division. It's been a phenomenal year to watch. We have crossed over the 1,000 view mark on this commentary stream. Thank you all so much for your continued support. Devils lose tonight. It was 2-1 Calgary. What's the score now? Oh my God. 3-2 now. Oh, brother. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the wonderful commentary. We'll be live later on tonight for Kraken and Avalanche. I think I'm out of storage on my phone. Because I tried recording the Leonard clip and editing it. It's not letting me do... Oh, now it is. Okay. Guess my phone was just bugging. Is Washington's goalie playing that good? Yeah, he's made some good saves. Not all of Buffalo's shots have been like grade A though, but still, it's been a lot of Sabres tonight mostly. Washington will get a chance to get more offensive zone chances here. A power play coming up for them. It's going to be Tanner Pearson, the newly acquired deadline acquisition, who will head to the box. And we'll get a Capitals power play coming up. I'm not sure what exactly the call is going to be for. Slashing, as soon as it tells me that. Oh, yeah, he got sort of there right after. Tried to get onto the bench, and the referee's like, hey, nope, can't do that. All right, Caps power play coming up. Face-off here in the Buffalo zone. There's Lindy Ruff. Crazy how he might want to Jack Adams. Face-off in the Sabres zone. Shot off from the point goes wide of Lindgren. Wilson clears it down low to the corner. Thrown back up top. Down low to the corner now. Trying to regroup with it is Strome. Pass back to the point then. Chychrun shoots it wide of Luukkonen. Now Dubois. Racing forward here on the right side. PLD. McLeod tries to clear. Kept in by Wilson. Wilson to Ovechkin, who fires it wide. Down low now Dubois. Off the boards then for Strome. Strome waits. Drops it back down low then for Dubois. Dubois to Strome. Strome up top. Chychrun to Strome. Strome to Dubois. Dubois to Strome. Strome up top. Chychrun fires it wide. Puck slides back on Luukkonen. It didn't get there enough time. Back up top then Strome. Here on the right side for Washington. Gives it back for Dubois. Dubois to Ovechkin. Ovechkin shoots it. Tipped in front. Denied by Luukkonen. And cleared by Byram the other way. Great save there by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Keeps this game tied. Halfway through the power play. 6 minutes to go in the second. Pierre-Luc Dubois will drop this one back then for Leonard. Caps power play 26th in the NHL. Sabres PK top 5 in the league. Ovechkin. Pass back over then for Leonard. Went through some traffic before it got to him. Leonard back down low then. Protas up top. Sandin comes in. Fires it out of play. Yeah, good save there by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen on that opportunity. Shots 22-8 now in favor of the Sabres. Capitals starting to get some shots reacclimated in return. Face-off in the Buffalo zone is won by the Sabres. Power chips it off the boards or tries to get it out. Kept in by Sandin. Rasmus Sandin then down low to Protas. Protas on the right side will feed that one back to center. Ovechkin will grab it back then for Washington. Back down low for Sandin. Rasmus Sandin now will carry this one through center. He'll dump it down low into the Buffalo zone. Now on the right side, Luke Schenn gets it back. Power play comes to a close. Good kill there by the Sabres. Puck slides back up top then. Rasmus Sandin to the point. Pass down low to Roy. Tried to throw a centering pass for Beauvillier. Couldn't get there in time. Now Krebs Chips it off the boards to center. Pearson out of the box. Back over then for Ostland, who will carry it down the right side. Stolen back then by Beauvillier. Here's Beauvillier. 2-on-2 the other way. Beauvillier now carries the puck into the zone. Battling for it then with Owen Power in the corner. Sabres take it back. Krebs. Here now on the right side. Peyton Krebs battling for it down low. Shot on. Denied by Lindgren. Picked up by Roy in the corner. 4:25 left to go in this second period. We are tied at 1 after Leonard's tying goal early in the second. Tage Thompson battling for it now with Van Riemsdyk here in the corner. It's grabbed back then down low by Josh Doan. Thrown around then by TVR. Here come the Caps the other way. Ferravari to Wilson. Shoots it. Denied by Luukkonen. Van Riemsdyk now down low below the line. TVR tries to throw a pass in front. Down low in the corner. We'll bank it around then for Lapierre. Lapierre to the point. Banked around then behind the net to Wilson. Van Riemsdyk tried to get to it. TVR then down low. Goes off the side of the stick. Now Wilson back over to Lapierre. Dahlin off the boards. Lapierre gets it back. Hendricks Lapierre down low. Stolen back by Dahlin on the right side. Clear to center. Doan. Pass up ahead. Here they come the other way. It's Norris. 1-0. Shoots it. Denied by Lindgren. And the whistle is blown. And we have a penalty coming up on the Caps. Sabres power play. After a sequence there where Norris was going on a 1-0 breakaway, he was hooked. And Buffalo, with 3:19 left to go in the second period, they will go to the power play. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, I'm 19. I'm trying to go for a job. I'm just using this as practice and a way to practice my skills and all that stuff. Needs a little more spice. You're not wrong. All right, Sabres power play coming up here in just a moment. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the commentary. So we'll see Buffalo go to the man advantage here with a little over 3 minutes to play. All right. Shots in the game so far. Thank you, Philip. Try my best. Shots 24-8 in favor of Buffalo. Charlie Lindgren having one hell of a game, but we'll see if he can hold off another Buffalo power play. Take a look at the goaltender stats here. Charlie Lindgren, 23 saves on 24 shots, .958 save percentage. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, 7 saves on 8 shots, .875. Certainly could be better. Sabres power play coming up here now as Josh Norris was held on by Martin Ferravari, and it'll send the Sabres to their second power play of the game. Sabres power play middle of the road, generally speaking. Face-off now here in the Washington zone is won by the Caps. Taken back then by McMichael and dumped back down low into the Buffalo zone. Here's Luukkonen. Holds it down low then for Doan. Pass back over for Dahlin. Dahlin to Norris. Norris off the boards to Thompson. Thompson back over then for Norris, who's tripped. Sabres fans want a second penalty there. I'm not sure they'll get one. Here's Zucker. Up top to Dahlin. Dahlin to the point. Back over then Norris. Shoots it. Deflected back into the corner. Dahlin. Pass over to Norris. Norris to Dahlin. Dahlin shoots it. Denied there by Lindgren. Yeah, I know how to say it, but sometimes I say it the other way by accident. Luukkonen will come out of his own net to play that puck. It's given back then by Dahlin behind the net. Here's Rasmus Dahlin, who will carry this one through center. Drop back to Doan. Given up then for Norris. Sabres trying to break it back into the zone halfway through the power play. Zucker to Dahlin. Pass back to Thompson. Thompson to Dahlin now holds it up top. Dahlin to Norris. Norris to Dahlin. Dahlin waits. Back to Norris. A shot. And that one goes wide. Here's Dahlin back to Norris. In the final 2 minutes of play in the second. Norris in the corner. Back over then to Doan. Doan to Thompson. Back to Dahlin. Rasmus Dahlin holds it up top. Back to Thompson. Thompson to Zucker. Back over to Thompson. Down low then Doan to Thompson. To Zucker to Thompson. A shot. He fans on it. Puck's in the crease and cleared by the Caps down the other way. Grab back down low then. Sabres will carry this one through center. Byram will throw it through the zone. Bowen Byram back up top then to Östlund. Stolen back then by the Caps. And dumped all the way back into the Buffalo zone. That will do it for the Sabres power play. Not a ton of chances there on that one. Only one shot. Here's Ryan McLeod. Through center. Down below behind the net. McLeod carries it around. Looks for options. Last minute of play here in the second period. Östlund fires it. And that one was blocked, I believe, by an own Sabre, it looked like. Östlund now back up top. Power a shot. Wide there of Lindgren. Here on the right side. Backhanding it down low behind the net. Then McLeod in front for Benson, who couldn't convert in time. Now Rasmus Sandin will break this one through center. 35 seconds to go. Sandin will backhand it into the zone. Power gets it back then for Buffalo. Owen Power throws it up ahead then. Stolen back then by Washington. Cross-ice pass. 2-1 developing. Sordiff with Sandin. Sordiff to Sandin. A shot. And he nearly got the backhand there, but couldn't get it in time. Strome intercepted the line. Östlund back up then for Benson. Benson battling now with Strome. Strome takes the puck back. Dumps it to center. Caps will clear it into the Buffalo zone. And that will pretty much do it here for the second period. The Capitals have tied the game with a Ryan Leonard goal. 2:14 into that second period, making it a 1-1 hockey game. And it shapes up to be an incredibly interesting third period coming up in just a little bit. That being said, folks, it is intermission time. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. We will be back for the start of period number 3 momentarily. Here's the countdown till the third. Thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It brings more people into the commentary. We'll take a breath. We'll take a look at the other scores around the NHL. We'll also talk about this game itself. Shots 25-9 after 40 minutes of play. Charlie Lindgren having himself one hell of a game tonight. He's been incredible. He has been incredible. Do I gotta update my phone? I don't know. My phone's giving me issues right now. Unable to download because I need more storage. Oh my gosh. Alright, let me clear some of the storage off my phone. It's not letting me do any of the clips. It was kicking me out of my... Yeah, definitely need to clear some. Alright, just fixing this up really quick. Alright, how am I looking now? Oh, I got so much photos on my phone. Give me a second, guys. Clear out all of this stupid photos on my phone.
This is the only redesigned 2026 Nissan Sentra. With the most standard features of any sedan in its class, it means you can have your cake and drive it too. The 2026 Nissan Sentra. The most ambitious Sentra ever. Nissan, number one in new vehicle quality. Now get a look.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. Trying to clear some storage off my phone, even though I just cleared off a bunch of photos and videos. Let me pull the stream on my computer really quick so I can read the comments. Good chances there for both the Sabres and the Caps in that second period. Definitely the Sabres were the better team again. Washington did kind of get into the game a little bit more, but I still think the Caps definitely emerged a little bit more in that period. They had more shots. Only one more though. They only had 5 shots. They only have 9 shots overall. The fact that this is a tied hockey game, they can thank their goaltender for that. I don't think this is tied in any other circumstance. Just certainly been a struggle here for Washington tonight. And again, I understand that they're on a back-to-back, but this is just like very, very lopsided. All right, just doing the Leonard clip.
The rookie Ryan Leonard, who ties the game at 1 on the Capitals' 4th shot. And a good answer back there for Washington after a brutal first period.
And the Capitals, of course, were a true tandem last year, but it's been more Thompson.
All right, there we go. So 1-1 hockey game after 40 minutes of play. Sam Carrick and Ryan Leonard make it a 1-1 hockey game after 40 minutes of play. It's been a phenomenal hockey game so far. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement. Brings more people into the wonderful commentary. What counts as a rookie season? It's their first season, like, in the NHL in their whole career. That's what a rookie is. So, like, for example, this is Ryan Leonard's first season in the NHL. You can play games last year, but it can't be more than 13, I think. If you play less than 13 games the season prior, then that season afterwards, like your first full NHL season is what it is. Yeah, that's what a rookie season is.
The most affordable German-engineered car brand in America is also the most fun. With high-performance handling, style, and space. Not to mention flow-inducing turbo. What are you waiting for? Get in the driver's seat during Volkswagen Driver Days. Come in today and get a great deal during Volkswagen Driver Days.
I'm not letting relapsing MS disrupt my life. My treatment choice? Boom.
All right. Just uploading this really quick. Sorry, guys.
And reduce active lesions by over 90%. Plus, it's the only diesel treatment I can take at home.
Or take with me. Take charge like I do. Boom. That's Kizimta.
No pre-treatment with steroids or infusion days. It's an auto-injector pen that's just once a month.
Don't take if you had an allergic or life-threatening reaction to Kizimta or have hepatitis B. You'll be tested for Hep B before treatment as a quick return. Serious side effects including infections and PML, a rare brain infection, can occur and may be fatal or cause severe disability. Tell your doctor about your medical history, including liver problems, for vaccines, and pregnancy.
All right. Let's go over the games that are currently going on in the NHL right now, the other scores around the league as I pull up my screen here. Thank you all so much for tuning in. See if I got my revenue from yesterday yet. And it doesn't look like I have. All right, let's take a look at the scores around the NHL here. Sharks and Bruins is now 2-0 San Jose. Tyler Toffoli with a goal in that second period. He now has a multi-point game. Celebrini and Orlov get the assists. Ducks and Maple Leafs is now tied at 3 apiece. After 40 minutes of play, Radko Gudas was ejected from the game. Had a knee-on-knee with Austin Matthews. And he got a 5 in the game, so not great there for Radko Gudas. Goals in that second period. Austin Matthews, Pavel Mintyukov, and John Tavares. Red Wings and Lightning is 1-0 Tampa Bay. Gensel from Kucherov and Perry after 40 minutes of play in that one. Blue Jackets and Panthers is a 1-0 lead for Columbus after 40 minutes of play. Fantilli from Marchment. Devils and Flames is 4-2 Calgary. In that second period, Johnny Beecher scores his second of the game. Simon Nemec gets on the board as well. And then Yegor Sharangovich also there with a goal as well. Blues and Hurricanes is tied at 1 apiece. Jimmy Snuggerud with a goal in that second period. Tied up the game. His 14th of the season. Snuggerud slowly getting better and better as the year goes along. Stars and Oilers is a 3-0 lead for Dallas. Jason Robertson, Sam Steele, and Jamie Benn with the goals. Sam Steele with a multi-point game. And then for Philadelphia and Minnesota, Emil Andre with a goal there as that game is coming to the end of 20. 1-0 lead there for the Flyers in that one. And then Jets and Rangers, 1-0 lead for New York as Adam Fox scores his 5th of the season. Other games coming up, Blackhawks and Mammoth, Predators and Canucks, Golden Knights and Penguins, and then Avalanche and Kraken. We'll be live for Avs and Kraken later on tonight here on the channel. So stay tuned for that. I appreciate all your guys' support and tuning in here on the channel. It's greatly appreciated.
We're light duty, heavy duty, heavy D8s, Hurricanes, and Hellcats. And we're backing up with America's best powertrain limited warranty. We're UFC donut making, NASCAR winning Ram. We're never gonna be something we're not, because nothing stops Ram. With the right team,
Oh, Flyers scored again? Did they score again? Oh, I was gonna say. I thought it was 1-0 Philly. All right, third period coming up in less than 4 minutes. I'm gonna go use the bathroom again. I'll be right back, guys. Give me a second.
fellow Utopians, know you love everything they deceive. Like utterly wild dance-offs and untamed reality shows. Now the next epic movie comes home to Disney Plus Zootopia 2. Let's go! So you can watch the record-breaking phenomenon at home. This is your moment to shine. Watch Zootopia 2 on
Play even strength goals across the board. Carrick for Buffalo, Leonard for the Caps. Buffalo started the night plus 21 and 5-on-5 goal differential. The Capitals fourth best in the league at plus 27. And as you might expect, Tage Thompson leading the way in shot attempts with 9.
All right, I have returned. But can they hold? Probably not. Flyers stink. Highly doubt they'll hold. But you never know.
During the 70th celebration at the happiest place on earth.
American Idol can change my life, and I'm ready for it.
I love singing, love getting on the stage. There's excitement. I love the pressure of it.
We're making dreams come true.
Thank you. American Idol 2 Monday on ABC. All you gotta do is go, what's up?
Was that?
Go practice.
Checking all my stats here real quick, guys. Sorry. That's one team I thought would be in the playoffs. Flyers and then Ottawa too. Ottawa, I thought, not my Flyers. I didn't think my Flyers would make it this year. The Senators, though, they've been good. The problem is with Ottawa is just not good goaltending. And it's evident when you look at the stats and everything. You're like, yeah, the goaltending is the issue there. There's still time left for both. Yeah, I doubt it too. I think the playoffs stay the way they are. Maybe Columbus gets in there over Boston, but I'm not sure. Alrighty, let's get ready for the start of the third period here between the Buffalo Sabres and the Washington Capitals here from KeyBank Center. Second period recap. The only goal is scored by Ryan Leonard to tie the game up at 1. And it sets itself up for a very, very interesting third period coming up here in just a moment. Stats through 40. Shots 25-9 in favor of Buffalo. Face-off percentage is 65% in favor of the Sabres. Power plays, Washington 0 for 1, Buffalo 0 for 2. Hits are 17-16 Buffalo. Block shots are 11-9 in favor of Washington. It's been an incredibly lopsided game on almost all accounts. The Sabres out shooting the Capitals by nearly 20. Yeah, Olmark is with Ottawa. And we will see if Washington can pull off an upset here, or will the Sabres get their 9th straight victory and tie the Carolina Hurricanes for first place in the Eastern Conference. What a season for Buffalo. I can't believe it. We might see them in the playoffs. Still a ways away from teams clinching. Maybe next week or the following week afterwards, we'll start seeing some teams clinch. But it's been an electric couple of weeks here for the Sabres. And winning these games certainly help. Alrighty, here we go. Period number 3 between the Caps and the Sabres. And we are underway. Face-off is won back then by the Sabres. Played in their own zone. Then Rasmus Dahlin. Back over then for Samuelsson, who will carry this one through center. And dump it down low to the Washington zone. On the right side now, Jack Quinn. Pass in front, jabbing at that puck. Kept in the zone then by Dahlin. Samuelsson drop back to McLeod, and whistle blown dead here for an offsides. The puck must have crossed the line prior to exiting. Shots 25-9 here in favor of Buffalo. Face-off coming here now in the Washington zone. McMichael versus McLeod. Face-off won then by the Sabres. Dahlin will flick it down low into the Capitals zone. Roy off the boards to center. McLeod dumps it down low into the Capitals zone. Sandin off the boards then to Roy on the right side then. Frank played up for McLeod. Here's McMichael. Here's McMichael down low now below the goal line for Washington. Dahlin trying to steal it back. Sandina's shot denied by Luukkonen. Puck slides back up top. Capitals trying to get that one back. Thompson. Cross ice pass then to Zucker. Zucker will flick this one in the air back down low then into the Washington zone. Now with speed as Van Riemsdyk, who will dump it down low to the Buffalo end. Here's Byram. Off the boards then to Thompson. Thompson up then for Östlund. Östlund back over then. And a shot from Benson goes wide. Now down low in the corner. Zach Benson trying to get it back. Benson on the right side. Banked around behind the net. Now Protas battling for it then with Byram. Bowen Byram dumps it down low. Grab back then quickly. Benson knocked down low to the corner. Thompson back up top to Power. Power down low to Östlund. Can't get the shot on. Below the line then back to Thompson behind the net. Thompson looks for options. We'll bring it back down low below the goal line here. Now battling for with Dubois. Pass back up top. Power at the point. Down low then for Benson. Back to Power. A shot, and that one goes wide of Lindgren once again. About 2 minutes gone here in this third period. Sabres and Caps are tied 1-1 in a big game. Sabres can get their 9th straight win. Here's Östlund. Down low then for Benson. This line's been out here for a while on both sides. Poke checked away there by Wilson. Tom Wilson on the breakaway. 1-0 into the zone. He's in. Denied by Luukkonen. What a save by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. And he keeps this one tied at 1. He hasn't faced a ton of action tonight, but he was big in that moment. Here come the Sabres the other way. Norris back over. A shot denied by Lindgren off of Doan and cleared back to center. Puck banked back into the Washington zone. Getting it back is Jacob Chychrun. Chychrun below the line, then the Protas. Protas getting it back now on the right side. Stolen back by Norris. Backhanding it down low. Capitals take it back. Here's Leonard into the zone. Pass back up top. Liljegren comes in. Denied by Luukkonen. And we get some pushing and shoving here as the whistle comes. What a save by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen there on Tom Wilson. And the Capitals starting to get some offensive zone chances here on the Finnish goaltender. Thank you all for tuning in. Over 90 people here in the commentary. That is awesome. I really appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement. Face-off coming up here now in the Sabres zone. Playoffs start on April 19th. Here's Liljegren, a shot. That one goes wide of Luukkonen and cleared back to center. With speed the other way, Zucker now battling for with Liljegren. Back then down low for Chychrun. Off the boards to Quinn. Jack Quinn down low in the corner, back over to McLeod. McLeod shoots it, blocked. Now a backhand pass over and broken up there. Sabres trying to keep that one in. Dahlin backhands it off the boards down low to the corner. Now Zucker fighting here with Chychrun. Behind the net then for Liljegren. Timothy Liljegren off the boards to Ovechkin, back to Beauvillier. Capitals take it back here the other way. Timothy Liljegren will dump it down low into the Buffalo zone. Rasmus Dahlin now battling forward on the right side. Sabres will get it back. Quinn, 2-on-2. Caps get it back in their own zone. Sandin. Back over then to Roy. Roy off the boards for McMichael. McMichael coming into the zone with speed. Poke checks it down low behind the net. Then Dahlin battling for it. Grabbed back quickly then in the corner by Sam Carrick. Sabres trying to clear out of their own zone here. Capitals off to a pretty good start in this second period. Sabres will flick this puck back to center anyhow. Caps now regroup in their own end. Here's Sandin. Banks it off the boards then to Frank. Frank back then for Sandin, who will carry this one through center. Rasmus Sandin will dump it into the Buffalo zone. Byram. Back over then for Power. Over then for Thompson. Benson now on the right side, battling with Faravari. Faravari then for Lapierre. 2-on-1. Lapierre shoots it. Denied by Luukkonen. Here come the Sabres the other way. Byram through center. Waits. Pass back to Thompson. A shot. It goes wide. Now Ostlund down low in the corner. Taken back then by Washington on the right side. Here's Hendricks Lapierre. Chips it back down low then into the Buffalo zone. Thompson on the right side with Power. Washington gets it back. Faravari now at the point. Fires it. Deflected up in the air. And back to the right side. Here's Wilson back to Faravari. Up top, Faravari now regrouping. Shot on is blocked. Now Ostlund here on the right side will get it back to center. And Sabres will again regroup in their own zone. Byram back to Doan. Doan up ahead then for Norris. Norris on the right side, regroups up top. Broken up then and cleared back to center. Now Josh Norris down low then for Stanley. Stanley off the boards then and backhanded into the zone. And Charlie Lindgren will try and clear it. It's kept in by Doan. Josh Doan cleared back out by the Caps as soon as I say that. Here's the young rookie with speed. He gets to the puck first. Ryan Leonard behind the net looks for options. Leonard drops it back to Chychrun. Chychrun trying to come in there. It's stolen back then by the Sabres and a whistle blown. And I think a penalty coming up. I think Logan Stanley is going to get a penalty here, or something is going on. Yeah, Stanley to the box. And Washington will head to the power play with 13:52 left to go here in period number 3. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement. It also brings more people into the wonderful commentary. It's going to be Logan Stanley for holding. Shots are 27 to 14. Capitals starting to get some chances here. The first time really in this entire game. Trying to find my charger here. Here we go. Come on, Buffalo. We'll see if the Sabres can get it here. All right. Capitals power play coming up here. Caps are 0 for 1 on the power play. There's Only been one power play prior, and Stanley there for holding on the young rookie Ryan Leonard. Gets into it there with a couple of the Caps players as he was heading to the box. And the Washington Capitals with a massive opportunity here can take the lead. 7 short-handed goals for the Sabres. Okay. We'll see what happens. All right, face-off coming up now in the Buffalo zone. Showing off the Sabres kill here to be McLeod, Samuelson, Byram. Face-off here in the Buffalo end. Both goaltenders have played really, really well tonight. Face-off won by the Sabres. Immediately off the draw, Byram will clear it. Back into the Washington zone. Grab back then down low by Jacob Chychrun. Here's Chychrun. Carrying the puck now through center. Will drop it back then for Strome. Dylan Strome now through center. Back down low then for Wilson. Off the boards to Byram. Bowen Byram clears it back all the way into the Washington zone. With 13:20 to go in the third. Chychrun carries it through center. Will drop it off then for Dubois. PLD up to Strome. Cross ice pass. Wilson up top. Chychrun down low to Ovechkin. Can't get it there. Shot on is blocked. Ovechkin to the point to Chychrun. Chychrun to Leonard. Strome holding it now on the right side. Dylan Strome regrouping then back to Chychrun. Shot denied by Luukkonen. And now we get some pushing and shoving here. Not a lot of physicality or anything like that. I mean, in terms of hits, yeah, but not a lot of pushing and shoving off the whistle in this game. It's been a relatively clean game in terms of that. Seems like now things are starting to flare over here a little bit. Again, these two teams, they haven't played each other since November. It's been a while. The Sabres took that game 4-3 on a shootout. And they'll play each other one more time on April 4th. Face-off coming up here now yet again in the Buffalo end. Capitals still trying to get that go-ahead goal. Strome wins the draw. Ovechkin back up to Chychrun. Cross-ice pass. Broken up then by the Sabres to the line and cleared back to center. Now Dylan Strome will regroup with it now in his own end. Back up to Chychrun. Chychrun will drop it back then for Strome. Here's Dylan Strome to Dubois. Dubois to Ovechkin. Ovechkin off the boards to Strome. Up top then Farivari. To Dubois. Pass over. Ovechkin can't convert. And it slides to center. Here's McLeod. 1-0. Shorthanded comes in. Shoots it wide. Here's Strome. Cross ice pass then. Roy back to Ovechkin. Denied by Luukkonen once again with 12:11 to go. And it was actually Wilson who gave that puck over. Thank God Ovi didn't score that. And McLeod was on a shorthanded breakaway. He got kind of interfered with there by Tom Wilson. There was no call. And then Ovechkin came down the other way and fired a shot on, but a big save there by UPL. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen in his 5th commentary stream. Charlie Lindgren here in his 7th. Face-off coming up now in the Buffalo zone. It'll be Carrick taking the draw against McMichael. 12-11. Face-off won by the Caps. 20 seconds to go on the power play. Sandin back down low. Leonard regroups on the right side. Pass down low to Protas. It goes just off his stick. Protas back up top to Sandin. Sandin to Protas now below the line. Pass in front. Jabbing at that puck. And Luukkonen keeps it and gets a whistle with 2 seconds left on the power play. Well, there you go. Face off here now in the Buffalo zone. And it's won back then by the Sabres. We are back to even strength. Great kill by Buffalo. Here they come now through center. It's Krebs. Delayed offsides here against the Sabres. They'll have to get back on sides. Now Leonard. Down low then for Sandin. Back to Protas. Cross ice pass to Leonard. Broken up then by Sordiff. Here's Justin Sordiff. Up ahead then through the neutral zone. Sordiff fires it wide. Now Protas below the line. Fires it again. That one's blocked. Krebs off the boards then for Quinn. Back to the right side, Samuelson. Samuelson carries it through center, flicks it down low into the Washington zone. About 9 minutes gone here in this second period. We are still tied at 1. Here's Quinn in front. Thompson fires it wide. Dahlin loses that puck. Now battling forward with Duhaime, who tries to get there first. Brandon Duhaime now below the line, back to Dahlin. Dahlin up ahead then for Quinn. Quinn will dump it into the Washington zone. Down low now, getting it back is Sordiff. He'll put it through his legs, back to center. Now Logan Stanley. Back down low into the Washington zone. Icing here against the Sabres. Thank you all for tuning in. 10:32 left to go in the third period. Shots are 27-17. And we got a hell of a crowd here. 124 people in the commentary. That is greatly appreciated. We have crossed over the 2,000 view mark for this commentary stream. Thank you all so much for that. Subscribe down below if you're new. Feels like we keep on having more and more great commentaries, and I could not do it without you guys. Face off now in the Washington zone. Or I apologize, in the Buffalo zone. I can't read. Norris versus Dubois. Face off won by the Caps. Wilson to Liljegren. To Chychrun, a shot denied. Here's Stanley. Banked off the right side to center. Now 2-on-2 the other way. It's Norris into the zone. Gets knocked down to the ground. Liljegren will clear this one back to center. Overwhelming boost. Here's Wilson on a breakaway. Luukkonen out of his net to play it. Now Dubois. Back to Wilson, who will bank it down low into the Sabres zone. Stanley now battling forward with Lapierre. Off the boards to PLD. PLD trying to throw a pass to center. Now McLeod behind the net for Stanley. Stanley up top to Doan, who will dump it into the Washington zone. It's grabbed back by Lindgren up to Chychrun. Here's Jacob Chychrun now through center. He'll dump it into the Buffalo end. Power battling with Protas. Strome is there as well. Alexi Protas feeds it up top. Van Riemsdyk will fire it down low. It's grabbed back then by the Sabres. Power over then to center. Caps get it back. Protas on the right side then for Quinn. Quinn will backhand it down low then to Power. 9 minutes to go in the third, or at least approaching that. Sabres and the Capitals are still tied. Here's Östlund. Down the right side, banked off the boards into the Washington zone. Krebs, behind the net, will throw this one up top. Shot on there is blocked. Back over then to the right side, here's Byram. Byram, pass back over then to Krebs. Krebs now feeds it up top. Thompson, a shot blocked. And thrown back to center once again. Now Byram, chipped off the boards for Thompson. Östlund. On the right side, fires it down low. McMichael will chip it off the boards then for Frank. Östlund, back down low to Dahlin. Pass to center. Thompson comes in, shoots it off the pad of Lindgren. Here's Roy now down low in the corner. Gives it back then for TVR. It's tipped as it goes back into the Buffalo zone. Grabbed quickly then by Luukkonen. Shot on there, goes wide. Or Luukkonen, sorry. I'll get it at some point. Beauvillier. Back over then to Dahlin. Dahlin now behind the net will hold it here for the Sabres as they wind down the time. Shots 8-2 in favor of the Caps. Here in this second period, Sabres have not had a shot in a while. Icing against Buffalo with that being said. 7:55 to go in the third. It's been a back-and-forth hockey game here. Capitals have mostly outplayed the Sabres in this third period. We will see what the rest of this endures. But thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement. Carrick versus Dubois. Face-off won by Buffalo. Flicked all the way up in the air and back to center. Battling forward in the corner then, Tanner Pearson. Pearson hit down low there and banked off the boards to Ovechkin, who will try and carry it through center. Now Pearson dumps it back down low once again. Charlie Lindgren will now pick it up down low in the corner. Grabbed back then by Liljegren off the boards and backhanded into the Washington zone. Puck goes up and out of play in light of that fact. And 7:28 to go in the third. We'll head to commercial break. Sabres and Caps still tied. Again, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the wonderful commentary. All right, now we just take a breather here. Shots 27-18, I believe, or 28-18. Yeah, shots are 9-3 in favor of Washington in this third period. All right, face-off here at center is won back then by the Sabres. Here's Bowen Byram now, dumping it down low into the Washington zone. Van Riemsdyk battling for it then with Quinn. McLeod's there as well. Zucker tried getting a shot on. McLeod back up top. Byram over to Power, a shot. And that one is blocked. Here come the Caps the other way. Van Riemsdyk to Protas. Protas pass over and broken up. Here's Ryan McLeod. Carries this one the other way. 3-on-2. McLeod to Power up top. Coming in. Quinn a shot. Denied. Rebounds there. And McLeod can't tuck it. What's up, JJ? Welcome. Good morning. Here's Lukin out of his own net. Down low in the corner now. Byram gets it back. 6.5 minutes to go in the third. We are approaching crunch time. Dump back into the Washington zone. Thompson battling for it then with Sandin. Kick back up top. Shot on there is blocked by Sandin and backhanded all the way into the Buffalo zone. Washington gets it back. Shot there from Frank. Goes wide yet again. Bank back to center. On the right side here now, Buffalo will backhand it back down low into the Washington end. Icing against the Sabres with 5:55 to go in the third. We are approaching crunch time.
gift certificates. Sabres.com/enter today. Giving everything away.
Face off here now in the Sabres zone with 5:55 to go. Washington wins the draw. Liljegren to Ovechkin. Fires it on. It goes wide. Sabres now below the line. Thompson. Back to Dahlin. Chipped off the boards back into the Washington zone. Beauvillier. Backhands it down low. Dahlin to Samuelson. 5.5 minutes to go. Ovechkin shoots it wide. Sort of a rebound in front. Puck's in the crease. What a play there by Dahlin. Getting off there now. Doan to center. 2-on-2. Doan to Norris. Back to Doan, who can't get the shot on. Now in the corner, Washington will try and play it back up top. Here's Stanley. Down low. Pass over. Denied by Lindgren as well. Shen. Behind the net. Battling for that puck also. Sordiff is there too. Justin Sordiff now will chip this one to center. Now Shen gets it back. Over ahead then now through center. Dumped into the zone by Stanley. Puck goes up. And out of play with 4:47 remaining. And we will go back to commercial once again, probably for the final time. It's a one-goal game here in Buffalo. It feels like it's going to be a next goal wins. Thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the wonderful commentary. Whew. What a game we have here. This has been a really fun one, guys. All right. A little tired. Anybody tired? All right, less than 5 minutes to go here in period number 3. Face-off coming up here now in just a moment. It'll be outside of the Washington zone. Face-off won by the Capitals. Van Riemsdyk off the boards to Wilson. Will dump it down low to the Buffalo zone. Power. Battling for it now behind the net. Byram off the boards to Zucker. Tried to clear it to center. Van Riemsdyk keeps it in. Thrown back up to the point. Dubois shoots it. And that one goes wide. Rebound in front. It's in the crease. Jabbing at that puck. And Luukkonen keeps it out. They blow the whistle dead. And Luukkonen nearly got it across the line. But they could not get it across. Wow. What a series of stops there for Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. All right, face-off here in the Buffalo zone once again. Won by the Caps. Faravari to Protas' shot. That one goes wide. Off the boards then. Pearson to center. 2-on-2 the other way. Dahlin battling forward with Protas. Faravari now down low in the corner. Cleared all the way back into the Buffalo zone. That'll be another icing here against the Capitals this time around. Sorry, guys. Trying to find a photo here. Face off here now in the Washington zone is won by the Caps. Van Riemsdyk cleared to center. Roy to Strome. Strome comes in. Will backhand this one. Faravari dumps it down low into the corner. Here's Dahlin. Picks it back up then for Thompson. Tage Thompson now down the right side. Pass back over to Benson. Broken up by Roy. 3.5 minutes to go here in the third period. Sabres and the Caps are tied at 1. Dubois comes in. Pass is blocked. Now Benson will take it down low below the line then to Samuelson. Samuelson over then to Dahlin behind the net. Dahlin off the boards to Benson. Benson back over then for Samuelson down low. Just kind of a passing play here. Now Josh Doan carries it through center. Flicks it back into the Washington zone. Roy battling for it then with Norris. Off the boards now into center. Cleared back to Krebs up top. Final 3 minutes of play in regulation. Bavillier here in the corner. Try to bank it off the boards then to Roy. Roy will get it there to center. Now Norris battling for it. Poke check down low. Roy back to Sandin. Rasmus Sandin will carry this one through center. Dump back into the Buffalo zone. Stanley clears it around behind the net then. Norris battling for it. Caps try and get it back. Stanley over then down low for Krebs. Peyton Krebs gains the line. Dumps it down low. Now Jacob Chychrun gets it back. Chychrun to Strome. Strome on the right side fighting with Leonard. Down low then grabbed by Power. Power up to Byram. Byram down the right side with room. Shoots it. And that one goes wide. Sorry about that, guys. Here's Zucker. Down low then for Byram. Back over to McLeod. Strome off the boards to the corner. Here's Protas. Carries it down the other way. Alexi Protas back over then to Ryan Leonard now in the corner. Leonard fighting with Byram there as we wind this time down. Still, not a ton of shots these last few minutes. Here's Strome at the point. Drops it back to Van Riemsdyk. A shot! Blocked, rebounds in front. Jabbing at that puck. It's cleared away. Protas down low in the corner now. Pass up top. Chychrun! He scores! Jacob Chychrun jumps in the play. And with 1:33 to go, the Capitals have taken the 2-1 lead. With 1:33 on the clock, 93 seconds in total, Jacob Chychrun gives the Capitals a 2-1 lead here late in the third period. Lukona nearly had that puck, but he was broken away from it, sadly. And Chychrun with his 23rd goal of the year. What a season he's had from Protas and Van Riemsdyk. Makes it a 2-1 hockey game. And Sabres draw a timeout here. That is why it took a moment. We will see what they can do here to try and maybe cook something up here in the latter stages of this one. But Jacob Chychrun with the go-ahead goal makes it 2-1. Yeah, you jinxed it, JJ. Come on. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the commentary. We will be doing Kraken and Avalanche here on the channel later on tonight, so be sure to stay tuned for that. But I appreciate all your guys' support here on this one. A minute 30 to go in the third period. The Sabres' win streak is now in jeopardy. We will see if the Sabres can tie with a minute 33 to go. Dubois now takes the draw against McLeod. Face-off won then by Buffalo. Here's Ostlund into the zone. Luukkonen will go to the empty net. 6-on-5 now for the Sabres. It's broken up and cleared to center. Racing forward with speed as McMichael will get to the puck first. Around now behind the net out towards Wilson. Fires it. And that one is stolen back then by the Sabres. Here's McLeod through center. Back over to Quinn. Quinn back over to McLeod. McLeod up top. Thompson waits. Shoots it. It's blocked in front. Last minute of play here now in regulation. Roy battling for it down low. Wilson trying to get it free as well. It's just a scramble for it behind Lindgren. Off the boards, Thompson trying to get that one to the point. Dubois up to McMichael. He'll fire for the empty net, just wide. And it is an icing. My clock is a little bit ahead. I apologize. 43 seconds left in regulation. Shots are 30-21. Sabres got to win this draw. They got to get set up and try and get this tie. We'll see if they can. 170 people in the commentary. I appreciate it, guys, so much. Face-off in the Washington zone is won by Buffalo. Zucker to Thompson. Down low then for Quinn. Back to Thompson. Down low. Quinn behind the net. Jack Quinn to Tage Thompson. Thompson to Dahlin. Dahlin to Thompson below the line. Time winding down. Quinn down low to Thompson. Shoots it. And it goes wide. McLeod gets it back now on the right side. 20 seconds to go. Quinn in front. It slides all the way back down the other way. It won't be an icing. 13 seconds to go. Dahlin will get it back off the boards. He'll move it through center with speed. 8 seconds left. Dumps it down low into the zone. Caps get it back. And that'll do it. The Capitals knock over the Sabres winning streak and get the 2-1 win here tonight with a late goal by Jacob Chychrun. And the Sabres just could not get set up in time. And you got to tip your cap to Charlie Lindgren. What a game from the Capitals goaltender. That was absolutely incredible. Capitals were outshot 25-9 after 40 minutes of play. They come into the third. 14-5 are the shots in favor of Washington in that third period. And they get the win. Okay. That'll do it for me here. The Capitals stave off Buffalo and stop their winning streak at 8 this time around. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. We will be live in a couple of moments here, about 25 minutes or so, for Avalanche and Kraken. So thank you all so much for tuning in and your continued support. And I will see you guys in the next stream.